Hello, Chandler. This is Vice Mayor Christine Ellis. Welcome to Breaking Barrier. I'm sitting here this morning with three exceptional women that are here in our city, and what they do it the best way that they can, which is running nonprofits here in our city. One thing you have to realize about Chandler, we have some nonprofits that are doing amazing work out there, not only in the area of healthcare, education, whether it's the seniors, wherever, we do have a group of people that are passionate about these things and making them happen. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for saying yes to this. Here we are sitting together. We're constantly in the community. I'm seeing you guys all the time. And some of you I've worked with even prior being on council. So it is important to me that today your voice are heard throughout our city in the best way possible. The work that you do is so valuable. You know, you touch people's lives and they are never the same. So thank you. One thing I will really like you to do is to introduce yourselves at this time. I'm going to start with you. Could please go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people of Chandler know who you are and what you do and what the nonprofit that you run here for us.
Yes, well, thank you, Vice Mayor. First of all, for having us on the show today with you. My name is Katie Kahle, and I am the director of the Chandler CARE Center. So the Chandler CARE Center is a nonprofit and a program of Chandler Unified School District. And we are fortunate to have several programs in our facility that support Chandler families. We have a family resource center, a food bank, a diaper bank, a children's medical and dental clinic, and several other partnerships within our building that support Chandler families. And I've been honored to work there for a little over 12 years and love just being a part of the Chandler community and a part of what everyone here does. So thank you for having me.
Well, I just love the idea that you're a one-stop shop.
Yes.
Yes, you come in and you serve the whole family.
Yes.
What about you, milady?
Thank you so much for having me. Shelby Pedersen with ICAN. I have been with ICAN I've been CEO for 10 years, so it's been quite a journey. And ICAN is focused on providing after-school programs to kids who wouldn't be able to access them otherwise. So we partner with Title I schools where students wouldn't have access to after-school tutoring or maybe after-school robotics and different activities that really enrich their lives.
Yeah.
So the really unique thing about what we do is it's provided all at no cost. So making sure every kid has that barrier of cost removed. And we are a very active partner with Chandler CARE Center. Yes. So our kiddos overlap a lot and use each other's services. So
I love to hear about the partnership because we can't do it alone. Right?
No, absolutely not.
What about you, my dear?
Well, likewise, thank you so much for having us on the show. And it's really an honor to be in the company of these ladies who I have seen over the years here in the organization, working very closely with our Neighborhood Resources Department.
Yes.
But my name is Priscilla Quintana, and I'm the Neighborhood Preservation Program Manager. And I am privileged to serve the community that I was raised in. I get to manage a lot of programs that help bring resources and services to our residents and help bring education to those who may not know of those unknown services in our community.
That's amazing. And I know you have a little niche that you're going to be talking really good about, which is the Golden Neighbors and all the things that you've accomplished. How long have you been here with us for the city?
I've been with the City of Chandler for 18 years. 18
years. So if you calculate all those years that have been thrown out here, oh my goodness, almost 40-something years on the table here of really working and giving back to this community. So let's explore some different things about these communities that you are serving, and not only your organizations are constantly in the forefront, I will say, right? So you touch people's lives when they come at you from day one. There's nothing different about what you all do in that sense, but there is specific characteristic about each one of the things that you guys do into the community itself. Michelle, can you talk a little bit about how independent you are in providing this core work for the people here in Chandler?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've been in the Chandler community. ICAN has been here for over 30 years.
Yes.
So we've been part of the fabric with Chandler Unified School District and really the city of Chandler for a long time, a lot of history. Our founder was from this community, born and raised his kids here.
Yes.
And so from the very beginning, that notion that every child should have access to free programs has been at the heart of what we do, and making sure that we're partnering with schools where the majority of kids could benefit from a program like that. When a kid comes into the ICAN program after school, they get help with their homework, they get free meals, they get to run and play outside. That's a really essential part of it because you know they've been sitting in a desk for a little while, so getting them to run some energy out. They get help with academic work, so we actually expanded some of what we do, and we're doing math and literacy supports and helping kids get caught up at school. STEM education, workforce readiness, I mean, you name it. We've got all kinds of great partners that we work with to build skills.
I just love the fact that how do you actually get the kids into this program? If somebody was looking at it and say, well, I've never heard of ICAN before, and how do I get involved in ICAN, whether to volunteer, whether to come in and bring their own kids? What does that look like?
Well, we rely on our district partners a lot for that. So when we come in and partner with the school, we build really strong relationships with that school site. So Galveston Elementary, for example, is one of our schools. I know we share campus space over there. They just had a beautiful new rebuild. Their building is absolutely gorgeous, but their team is amazing. So as they encounter students who could benefit from the service, they go and talk to our site lead on campus at Galveston and say, hey, this student could benefit. And if we have room, they're pulled in. If we are not in a space where we have room, we add them to a wait list until we can hire and bring on additional kids. So it's all by referral and by word of mouth at the school level.
I just love it.
Yeah.
I was at your building the other day reading to the little kids. I was invited. This was so amazing. I had such a good time. Took my shoes off and sat down on the mat with them. We were having,
they love
and
that.
we learn about emotions through pictures and colors. And what does those colors mean when it means your emotion? And one thing I've learned is that wearing red means that I'm angry. So it was like so crazy. So, but the kids had lots of fun over there. Can you talk about your program? What does it do? And to see these kids from those little babies being there all the way. So can you explain?
Yeah, well, and thank you for coming. That was such a great program. We were fortunate to be gifted some books by Read on Chandler and to invite you as a special guest and to do story time. And we love doing that. The kids get so excited to see new readers. So our center does actually quite a few programs. Our Family Resource Center program, which you are referring to, really provides support to families with kids with a special focus on prenatal through their 5th birthday or when they start kindergarten. And the goal of that is kind of twofold. One is to support parents as a child's first teacher. We recognize the importance of the parent or the guardian in the child's life and kind of their early development. And so we want to be able to support parents. We want to be able to show parents, you know, that they're not alone, help them build social connections, help them learn about kind of what to expect from their child through different phases of development. And then the other portion of that is really to get kids ready for school. The Chandler CARE Center started as part of Chandler Unified School District because we recognize the importance of intervening early to provide support for families so that kids could be ready to go to school, ready to be in a classroom and learn. And that extends also to our children's medical and dental clinic. We have been providing no-cost medical and dental care to uninsured kids in our community.
I love that.
And that's really important because when you've got a child that's going to school with, say, a toothache, or a child that's dealing with a chronic illness, what happens is that kid they can't go to school, and when they're there, they can't focus. And so we think it's really vital to keep those kids healthy so they can be in school and focus and learn. So we provide that support in partnership with Dignity Health, and that's just been a really wonderful part of our programming. And then we have several other programs on site that kind of provide additional support, like you said, from newborn babies all the way up through serving adults in our community. We have a food bank, we've got a diaper bank, we have behavioral health. We partner with WIC, we do free tax services. So it's really as much as we can bring in. Quite honestly, we almost never say no to a partnership if it makes sense for supporting our community.
Because to reach other people, you need that partnership along the way so that you can kind of use each other's resources and being able. I know at one time, the reason why I started going on your campus years ago is because this young girl who had just moved here and was in school, she was having headaches all the time, and they kept sending her, and she kept saying that I can't focus, I'm having this headache. And then they sent her to you guys. And what did they end up doing? An eye exam.
Yeah.
An eye exam showed that she needed glasses.
Yes.
Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah.
To be able to help that young lady, that young girl. And now she graduated from college. I'll have to tell you that. She graduated from college years ago, and she's in the Air Force. And currently she's serving over at Kuwait.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So thank you so much
Yes.
for everything that you have done to help her get to the point. She went to Northern Arizona. And in college there.
That's
So
wonderful.
it's
I love
amazing.
stories like that. And sometimes it is just something that sort of simple, right?
Yes,
a child
that's
just needs
simple.
an eye exam and glasses,
Yes.
and we're there for that, and we're also there for kind of the more, the more involved, more serious cases for those kids.
Yes, thank you. And I know you participate in many of these programs because Neighborhood Services is under, a lot of these things are under the umbrella. You look at their programs, you look at whether they're going to get funding sometimes, and all those things are in your jurisdiction also. But there is a program that you had just started here in the city of Chandler through your department. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, our Golden Neighbors program. I'm very proud of our Golden Neighbor program because, as you mentioned, we have so many partners in our community. There are so many organizations that are willing to support our residents from our young age to our senior citizen population. And so through creating our Golden Neighbor program, we have specifically aim to serve our senior citizens, connect them with the most basic resources that exist already here in our community, and also addressing some of the major issues that we see our senior citizens face, which is isolation.
Wow.
This program started in 2021 is when we had our very first event, but the conversation started well before the pandemic. We knew that isolation was one of the barriers that our senior citizens have faced, not just then or today or tomorrow, but it's something that's going to continue to happen. And through our Golden Neighbors, we help connect our senior citizens with a community that very much supports them and is here for them through any of the challenges that they may have, while also helping them create new friendships and find a new trusted voice in the community that can advocate for them.
Yes.
Our goal is to keep our senior citizens at home for as long as we possibly can because that's what they want to do. And also to protect them because as we are sitting here every second, I hate to tell you, but we are all aging and eventually we will be senior citizens. And we will want somebody in this community to help and look after us.
For sure, for sure.
Yes, we're very proud of our program, and I know that council has been instrumental in supporting the kickoff of the program in itself. And it's not every day that you hear of a program be so successful so early on, and to have the attention from our council members and recognize the importance of having programs like this and others in our community, which are really just connecting the resources and building a bridge between, again, services that exist and people that need the services.
I'm sitting here thinking about, my background as a nurse. I've done geriatric. I finished with pediatrics. I started, then I finished with geriatrics. So here I am, all the gamuts are right here in front of me, all the people that you've served, I'm passionate about when it comes to education for them, and then when it comes now to seeing them from the cradle to where they are right now that we're going to do it. I was so elated, and I was jumping like this when I went to see the Tumbleweed new multi-gen center that they just started to open right now. I walk into the bathroom, guess what they have? A changing table for adults. And I was like, yes! Here we are for the first time. I'm walking into and Chandler's always doing things that other places are not doing. And you can press a button, this table's gonna go up and it's gonna come down. You can have 2 or 3 people in the room to help you assist you with that person. So this is amazing. To hear that this is the niche that you have chosen to operate in, to give our seniors what they need in the community. The resources are here. Are they really accessible to them? So that's the part that we are talking about here with these programs. How accessible are your program? And I know you mentioned that you started how many years ago you started?
Yeah, like 35 years ago.
35, and for you, it's how long?
Yeah, so actually, 2025 marks 30 years for the Chandler CARE Center. It's our 30-year anniversary.
30 years, 35, and then you've been with us 37.
Not quite, but I hope to be.
But that's what we said. Every 5 years or every 10 years anniversary, we said, give us another 10. Give us another 5. So I'm so really at the point where the question that I'm going to ask right now is, what inspires you ladies to get up every morning and say, this is what I have chosen to do. This is where my passion lies. you know, helping people, everyone can say, well, I love to help people. This is what I love to do. But there is a niche that you have found. I keep saying the word niche because it's important to tell people all the time, find something that you're passionate about and then devote your time to it, and you're going to see it flourish. So let's start with you.
Yes, no pressure. You know, I've thought about this question a lot because sometimes people ask it, and I was very fortunate to be raised in a family where service to others was really sort of built into our life from when I was a kid, whether that was involvement in, you know, preparing food boxes, or I was a part of 4-H, and we did a lot of service projects through that. And I think when I started thinking about what I wanted to do professionally, I thought of a lot of different helping careers. You mentioned nursing.
Yes.
I thought about nursing. I thought about being a veterinarian.
Wow.
And I took a lot of classes in college, probably more than my parents wanted me to, to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And the thing that really struck me about it is my degree is in social work.
Yes.
And social work appealed to me because social work lets you reach people at so many different places. Like, you hear everyone up here talk about all the different ways that you can get engaged with helping, whether it's on an individual level or a larger level. And so when I found the job at the Chandler CARE Center, I sort of applied for it on a whim, thinking that there was really no way that I would be the right person for it. And I have absolutely fallen in love with working in this community. Chandler, like you said, it's such an incredible community. It's so connected. The relationships that people have with other organizations, the relationships that we have with the city, with council, all of that just really feels like you make such a genuine impact on a daily basis. And, you know, seeing everything from little kids getting excited for a story time to really making a big difference. We had a student recently who we were able to refer to a cardiologist for a heart problem that mom didn't even realize was happening because the child had had breathing issues their entire life and they thought it was normal. And so being able to make all those levels of impact, it's a little different every day. I work with really amazing, incredible people every day, and just seeing that impact in my own community where I live is just, it means everything to me. I think that's the most important part.
Well, great inspiration. You are always to us. Every time we looked at you, we're like, okay, I want to grow up and be just like you. What about you?
I second everything you said, right? It's the people. That's what inspires me, and the small moments with people, the ways that you see them growing and evolving over time. I was in one of our programs really recently. There's a young woman who, she's a 6th grader, and she has just come here from Guatemala and spoke very little English and was very nervous to speak with the other kids and was really having a hard time. And in school, she didn't have a whole lot of time to really sit and talk one-on-one with an adult. And so, you know, we were joking earlier, I'm working on my Spanish. So I love going and seeing this young lady because she's very forgiving and helps me with my Spanish. But we were chatting and she told me through the conversation, like, nobody sat with me today and did this. So thank you, right? And so it's those little moments, right, that we have as adults to shape children's lives for the better. You know, whether it is sitting with kids reading or it's sitting with a kid who's struggling with their math in our program and really watching them get it. Like the light bulb goes on and they get it.
It's in there.
Yeah, those moments are so powerful. And then we recently heard from one of our alumni. He's up at NAU and he has a computer that he got through our program that he's still using 5 or 6 years later. And he's pursuing an electric engineering degree. And he discovered the love of computers and engineering through our program. And so just hearing him talk about that was really amazing. So it's the people and it's the little moments where you just shift somebody's perspective that matter.
I love it.
Yeah.
If you know me, you hear, I'm always using this statistic for every child that we educate, we take 90 people out of poverty. And we are looking at that right here, right now, being solely, I mean, we could see it, tangibly see it happening in our community every single day through organizations like yours. And it's amazing. What about you? What inspired you every day to come to this city and say, I'm coming here, I'm going to make a difference, and I'm going to be the best that I can be?
So as I've mentioned, I was born in Arizona. I was raised in the city of Chandler. For me, my parents were immigrants from Mexico. And so for home, English was the second language.
Yes.
And when I first went to school, my job was to learn English so that I can help translate for my parents through any special need, anything that they really needed. My father was a little more, he speaks a lot more English and did at the time also, but it was really important that I helped my parents, and I think that just really sparked something for me to serve others, to help others, because I know that my parents weren't the only ones that were facing, that was just one barrier. There are so many other barriers that came, and we're talking back in the early 80s.
Yes.
And so for me, it was always just wanting to serve others, to help others, to elevate others. And this is my hometown. I love the city that I serve in.
Homegrown.
Yes, homegrown. My heart is here, and I feel that I've been placed in a position to know of these different resources that exist. So it's my job to push them out into the community and to make sure that our residents are empowered and they know how to get in touch with us, and that we're not just a local government, that we're here to serve.
Yeah, I see how they light up, because we've been doing work together in that space for a long time. It's going to be, 10 years now since I've been doing the Christmas and the Thanksgiving luncheon for the seniors that you serve into the city. And every time you walked in, or one of your colleagues walked in, that they work with over the years, you could see them light up. And I see them live longer. Because all these years that I have been with them, I see them staying healthier because of the connections that they have made, knowing that someone will knock at their door and check on them, and knowing who they are. And if they don't show up a Wednesday morning for group, somebody will go and knock on their doors and find out how they're doing. So amazing work. It's happening right here in Chandler through these nonprofits that you are doing. Every single one of you have spoken so highly of what you do. Is there a different flag, flagship type of a event that you provide here in the city that nobody else provides? Your organization is the only one that does that. And I will start with you again. Is there something, since you started this program, that you do on a monthly basis or once a year that you think that all the seniors in Chandler now needs to know about?
Yes, so we have our Golden Neighbor events every month, except for during the months that it's really hot, June, July, and August. A little bit of September we do take a break, but we partner with organizations, again, that already exist in our community, whether they're our very own city departments or nonprofits who focus on serving our senior citizen population. We talk about topics like how to apply for Medicare, where to obtain a food box, how to go through a housing rehab program because they need special bars to get into their shower, how to provide transportation, just different services that can help our senior citizens live a longer, healthier life at home. And these events happen once a month. They're posted on our website. During the holidays, we have a holiday breakfast, like you mentioned. We serve a warm breakfast to our senior citizens. The last couple of years, we've had up to 120 seniors attend.
Thank you. There's something else you do that you didn't mention. I'm going to kind of prompt you to talk a little bit about it, because I participated. It's when you open down and have all these things and people can come shopping.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that. I mean, real stuff that they can use, not trinkets.
I am so glad that you prompted me to speak of it, because this is a good opportunity for me to do a call out to the community.
Yes.
We we acquire donations from anyone who wants to donate to their Golden Neighbors. We collect personal hygiene items, toiletries, new slippers, robes, towels, pillows, anything that we sometimes take for granted, so that they don't have to worry about how they're going to stretch their fixed income. When we first started this program, we learned early on that many of our senior citizens were struggling with, do I pay for medication or do I pay for toothpaste? And we don't want that to be something that is happening in our very own community where there's so many resources.
Correct.
So we do have all of our events where we partner with different organizations. We ask them to bring a takeaway, something that we can send our senior citizens home with. Sometimes our goodie bags include a couple rolls of toilet paper, paper towels, and some of the items that I mentioned.
Seen all kinds of things, and sometimes we partner with Amazon that donates stuff, and if people buy things from Amazon and they don't want to use them, they're brand new, rather than let it sit around, bring it to us, we'll use it.
Yes, correct.
That's what we are saying. So what about you, Miss Shelby?
Well, what I feel like every family needs to know in Chandler is that there are resources for families if they're struggling to find childcare after school. So if a family does attend one of our Title I schools in Chandler, particularly elementary schools, Hartford, Galveston, San Marcos, Bologna, Fry, reach out to the principals, reach out to the school staff, and talk to them, ask them about ICAN, because similarly, one of the things that's really heart-wrenching for me is watching families make decisions about whether one parent is going to work or stay home with their children because they can't afford to do both. They can't afford to work and pay child care because child care costs are incredibly expensive, and a lot of schools, a lot of communities don't necessarily have affordable care in that community.
That's right.
So having it on campus and having it where mom and dad don't have any worries after school, they can continue to be employed, continue to help further their family's financial future. The unfortunate thing is moms are generally the ones that are staying home and leaving the workforce, and there's so much for these moms to give, right, and to contribute to our local economy, to our city, to their families. So if they choose to do that, if they want to be working and want to be out in the community, ICAN is a resource, and our programs are entirely free. So I really encourage families to chat with their school and find out what's available to them. So.
Okay, so once a year you put on a big old gala.
We do, yes, we do.
To raise some money.
We do.
So talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I mentioned our program's free, so it does not run itself.
Yes.
It's free to the families. It's not free to ICAN. It's actually quite expensive.
Yes.
So we have a beautiful event every November called Dream Big that we host.
Dream big.
Dream big. We're all about the big dreaming. And so we have about 500 people or so that join us for that event every year, and we raised just last year $800,000 to support our mission. So that event is really, really important. It keeps our programs free to families. So if you are not necessarily a family that's looking for childcare, but you see the importance of something like this, a program in your community, reach out to us, and we would be happy to have them come to dream big and support this mission. So.
And it's important that we send the word also to those in the community who's looking. A lot of people are probably looking for somewhere to donate their time, to donate also their resources, or even knowledge with other groups that can also elevate this program that you are doing currently. I've gone to about 2 or 3 of them so far. I'm telling you, it's a place to be.
Thank you.
The room is popping, and this lady here come out like a goddess. And it's looking amazing, the work that you do with your team. I really enjoy it, but still focusing on what the mission is, which is to take that big dream and transfer it to those kids and allow them to dream. So talk to me about your big dreams that you are doing out there.
Well, I have a lot of big dreams personally, but I loved what you said about hope, though, because I do think that that's really a big piece of what all of us try to really kind of foster in our community is hope. I think, one of our flagship programs, I would say, is our Children's Medical and Dental Clinic.
Yes.
So a little background history. When the CARE Center started, it was really a collaboration, and Dr. Camille Castile was our superintendent for many years in CUSD. And she and some partners, including Eddie Basha, who, funny tie back to my childhood, I have a picture of myself with a sheep with him that he bought for me at the county fair. So it all ties together, like we've said. So, but they came together with a couple of other partners, really talking about how they could address chronic absenteeism in our community, and particularly in some of our Title I schools at the time. And CUSD was a lot smaller back in 1995, and so they found a volunteer doctor, Dr. Gary Auxier, whose wife Annette was on the governing board for CUSD, and brought him in, and he really would kind of see those kids that were, say a kid had an ear infection, missing a lot of school. He would see those kids, he would make sure kids had their vaccines done, and it really grew over time. And now we're at a point where our partnership with Dignity Health provides medical and dental care to over 3,000 kids a year. And I know for a lot of people in Chandler, what we hear from a lot of people in Chandler is, but Chandler is such a well-off community. A lot of great businesses, we're thriving economically, the city's done a great job with making sure that that happens, but there are still people struggling, and whether that's people who live 2 doors down from our building who have been struggling for many years, or it's families that are facing a new hardship,
In South Chandler or wherever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
All throughout Chandler.
Yes.
We serve people from every zip code in Chandler. And what we find is that a lot of times people just don't really know what's out there and what help is really available. And I think it's just shows like this are really important because they really put that in front of people so they're aware, like Shelby said, there is help out there.
So what is the future of your organization right now? We call it a non-profit. It's because you are not profiting from it. That's just the basis of it.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, when we go home, we are the best for it. Right? We get all the love. We get all the good feeling and all these mental health things that keep us going from what we do every single day. What is the future of Golden Neighbors?
So recently I started using my little catchphrase, bridging gaps one need at a time.
Wow, I love that. Say that again for those in the back.
Bridging gaps one need at a time.
One need at a time.
And as the ladies and everybody has mentioned here on stage, there are a lot of needs in the community and the times have changed. We are getting requests for assistance from different zip codes that we sometimes didn't know about. And I think a lot of it too was also just breaking the barriers, right?
Yes.
And making, asking for help not such a stigma. It's
Come on,
okay
you
to
could
ask
explain
for
that
help.
again, because a lot of people don't because they feel ashamed.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think the times have changed. And for Golden Neighbors, it's going to continue to learn about what other gaps we can fill for our senior citizens, what more we can do for the community. I think it's endless. I think it's about the partners that we bring to the table. I think it's about the work that our staff is willing to put into it to serve our community.
Where are we going with ICAN? Where do you see ICAN? 10 years of your life you have dedicated to this organization.
Well, let me provide just a smidge of context about where we've come so far because I think it's relevant. We're really focused on how we serve more students because we are by no means serving the full extent of the need in Chandler and certainly not across the state either. So we have looked at, we have a beautiful building in downtown Chandler. We serve, we consolidate about 7 schools services into that one building. But that building had a limit. I can't continue to add children to that building. So we expanded our programs and actually brought them to the school setting. Our first expansion site was at Galveston in 2020. Right in the thick of COVID. So it started smaller than we had originally planned, but it started well and it was wonderful and the kids loved it, the parents loved it. And so that model is what we're looking to continue to grow as we go forward. And it doesn't require us to build a $5 or $6 million building. That was what it cost us to build the building back then. I don't think it would cost that now. It'd be quite a bit more.
Not with
but the point is, a free program, we need to contain costs as much as possible without compromising quality. So the building isn't a piece that has to be there as we move forward. So we're really leveraging our partnerships with the schools. And we're now on campus with both Galveston and Hartford.
That's amazing.
So that's wonderful. We're looking at the opportunity to continue to expand and serve more students in the community. Because again, the need is endless and we do get a ton of referrals and we can't serve them all in one building. So
the future is looking bright.
It is.
Because now you have what we call the upward mobility. Where you can take the show on the road.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. We're taking the show on the road.
You're taking the show on the road.
Directly to the kids.
Directly to the kids, because that's where they are, right? Go find the needs and fill it where the needs are. What about you? What the future looks like for you?
Well, I think sort of similarly, when the Care Center, the building that we're in right now was built in 2010.
I remember.
And when you think about how much Chandler has changed since 2010 and grown, our population has really, really just expanded so much in that time frame. And so we've a little bit outgrown our space. We make it work. We've converted a conference room into an office recently and whatever we have to do to make it happen. But one of the things we were fortunate to do this year is add a case manager to our staff. We have a partnership with Toyota Driving Possibilities that let us bring a case manager in, which has helped us also increase mobility for families between our center and the schools that their children go to and then their needs in the community. So we're working on how do we expand our reach by being in the schools more, being present in the community, and also looking at how we grow our physical space. We currently have, for example, 2 medical exam rooms, and we could probably use 4 of them. So we're really just looking at creatively, how do we address that? How do we work on our scheduling and bringing in our partnerships in a way that makes sense so that we can serve as many people as possible.
One thing, when I went to read to the kids, I had to remember my grandpa used to tell me, don't ever, as a politician or someone in office, don't ever make promises that you can't keep. And so I'm sitting there with all these kids and they're asking me questions. What do you do? Where you come from? And then finally I asked them and I said, is there anything I can do for all of you guys? What is it that you need? Because when I go back to the office, I can tell the mayor about it. Oh, I should not have said that. So they all, we want a bigger room. We want you to push that wall and give us a bigger room. So I told them, I said, well, I don't know if I can physically do that, but I sure will go back there and tell the mayor about it.
Oh, we love that.
But if anybody's watching and would love to give these kids a bigger room, please do.
Yes, feel free, reach
Call
out.
Miss Katie and make it happen. So that brings me to the question of where we are right now about community support. What would you ask the community right now for support with?
Oh gosh, the first thing that comes to mind is just people, expertise, coming and lending a hand.
Yes.
So we have 500 students in Chandler that we're serving, and at any given moment there's some activity. There's reading, there's math, there's homework help, there's a STEM project, there's an experiment, a sciencey experiment happening. And so if somebody has a subject matter expertise, again, reach out because we can put that to use.
Yes.
We have a beautiful urban garden at one of our facilities. Always looking for volunteers to work in our garden. That's a very specialized need, right? Technology, any kind of really specialized need. And we have so much of that. But Chandler is blessed by the amount of technical expertise we have in this community. So volunteerism and coming and lending a hand is great. We also have something called the Henrys, named after our founder, Henry Salinas. And he was really big about just being out in the community and connecting, creating community. And so this group of leaders actually go out and they represent ICAN. They're ambassadors.
Yes.
They represent ICAN in the community. So if you're looking at just being a spokesperson for kids, a champion for kids, again, reach out because that's a way that we can put your expertise and your passion to work.
That's wonderful. What about you?
So I think for us, it's volunteerism.
Yeah.
The same thing as Shelby. We can always
need
use
hands and
support.
feet. We need hands and feet.
Yeah, part of our Golden Neighbors too is to help our senior citizens with basic yard work if they need help pulling weeds to avoid code violations or accruing fees from their HOAs. So we're always looking for volunteers. Usually the summer, our volunteers, rightfully so, take a break because it is a hot summer in Arizona.
Yes.
But also important for us is for us to help get the word out. Golden Neighbors is such a new program. We know that we're not reaching every senior citizen out there. So whether it's they just need a place to gather because they're bored at home or they just want to meet new friends or they have something to give, we want them to be involved. We want them to join our events. We are also always looking for donations. The needs are always endless with toiletries, personal hygiene items, anything that they can really contribute to our Golden Neighbors to help them stay at home a little bit longer is always welcome. So a lot of opportunities to get involved with our senior citizens.
The needs are there, that's for sure.
I always think of businesses that come Q3, they're looking for somewhere that they can donate to.
Yes.
And what better place than some of the nonprofits that are serving your very own community. So I encourage you to stay local, donate to the city of Chandler.
Local. We had a slogan like that at one time.
I think so.
Eat local, during COVID, right? We said eat local, play local.
Donate local.
Donate local. That's where we had it. What about you?
Yes. Well, at the risk of being repetitive, absolutely volunteers.
Volunteer. We need all the hands we can get. We need all the hands.
And ambassadors as well. I think one of the things that I always encourage people to do when I go out in the community and talk about what we do is come visit us.
Yes.
Because I think it's one thing for us to sit here and talk about what we do. And it's an entirely different thing, like you said, to come in and sit down on the floor and read a story to little kids.
Yeah.
It just gives you a different perspective on really the impact that even those little things can make in the community. So we always encourage people to come by, stop in and visit us. We'll give you a tour. We'll talk to you about what we do.
Yes.
And then you can find a way to get engaged that makes sense to you. Some of our community members want to get involved. We're always looking for volunteers in our food bank, for example, both during our food bank hours and outside of them, especially people who like to organize things and lift things and move things. We always need those volunteers. So some people want to get involved in that way. Some people want to host a donation drive. I know that we're in the summer here, but we are already planning our holiday drives for fall and winter. We do a large Thanksgiving drive where we give Thanksgiving food boxes to families and serve about 300 families a year with that.
Yep,
and
300 turkeys we need?
Turkeys and everything that goes with them for
Yes.
families to take home and cook. Yeah. And then we also do a toy drive in partnership with Chandler Fire every year. And that typically serves between 1,000 and 1,200 kids between birth and 18.
Love
so if there's a way that the community wants to get engaged, we encourage them to reach out and really see where it fits in. I will also say, I know this is true for all of us. If it's not a fit for what we do, we know other nonprofits in the area, and we can always connect people. We can connect people through For Our City Chandler, through the city. So reach out to one of us and really just let us know what you're looking to do to get engaged, and we can help plug you into that.
Things like that.
And I
Absolutely.
think, Katie, you made such a valid point that the city of Chandler is growing. It is
Yes,
a
we are
big
growing.
city, but we are really fortunate that we are really connected.
Yes.
And we do lean on each other. And as long as one nonprofit knows about what the other nonprofit is doing, if you can't use those services or resources at that very moment, we make sure that your services and resources get used some other way. So
That's
it's a
right.
really, really good point.
Is there anything that you would like to say and you would like to tell the audience concerning, your organization that we have not mentioned? Think about it. This is your time now to get it all in there.
No, I just, I guess what I want to say is, again, thank you for having us here today to talk about what we
Thank
do,
you.
because none of what we do is done alone or in a silo. And so I think I would say to the community, find a way to get engaged that's meaningful to you. Jane Anderson, who was on the board for Our City Chandler,
Yes.
says all the time, the most important part about volunteering isn't what we give to others, it's what we learn and gain from it.
Yes.
And I think, keeping in mind there's so many ways to get engaged in our community, whether it's with one of our organizations, whether it's with another organization, whether it's with your house of worship, whatever that might be. I think getting involved in your community makes such a difference. My kids joke all the time that they know way too many people in the city of Chandler.
They definitely know me.
For several years when they were little, they thought everybody they met was the mayor. They do know who the mayor is now.
Yes.
But I just think getting engaged in the community is such an important piece. We're really grateful to be able to do the little part of what we do to give back. We could not do it alone, whether it's our donors, our volunteers, our community partners, the support of the city. I just think we're all in this together. We all make it better together. And so I just really appreciate being able to be here to elevate the work that we all do.
What about you, Ms. Priscilla? And then I'll let you close with us.
Yeah, I echo a lot of what you say. That's a very valid point, but I'd also like to add that if you have a need and it's maybe not on our website, it's not in black and white, don't hesitate to reach out.
That's right.
Let us try to figure it out together. You're not alone. Programs and services exist, and sometimes it's hard to put it all onto our website. And
Yes.
there are times where we get a new challenge that we all have to face in the community. COVID was a perfect example when we all had to come together and get creative.
Yeah.
That's not the only thing that's out there, and sometimes we have to create new programs, and that I think is something that is really fortunate about the city of Chandler and our leadership, that they're willing to take a chance on a new program that we maybe haven't crossed into a need before. But reach out, let us help. It may not be on our website, but we can help.
Well, we really appreciate you. Thank you again. And I know you're going to be an umbrella pretty soon. So you're going to be enjoying that moment in your life. So I want to congratulate you on air. Letting you know that the city is so proud of what you're doing here for us. All these years you have given us your lives to work here in this city. We are very grateful for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything that
to
you
serve
do.
my community, and thank you for that.
Thank
yes.
you. What about you?
I will just close with there's no amount of give that's too small, right? I think everybody has the opportunity to make an impact in a unique way. And so if you're sitting at home thinking, oh, I don't have a lot of money to give, or I don't have a lot of time, or I'm not an expert in something, I don't know a lot about this thing, that's okay. We all have, there are so many small ways that we can each get involved. So take one step, take one action that feels right for you, that you're passionate about. And never think it's too small, because those little moments are everything. So,
and for me, when I look at the people of Chandler every single day that I'm out there, every time I encounter someone, somehow, somewhere, these organizations have touched their lives in one way or another. So for me to sit here today and having had these ladies here is because I see the passion that they display in the things that they do and how they do it. These nonprofits are not just changing lives, they are saving lives for these kids and these seniors who would have been literally locked into their home and never really find other people. When I did home health, sometimes I will go to someone's house and I will make them a sandwich and get them to sit down and eat. And I go on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I come back on Wednesday and find them on the same chair that they were sitting there. And it was the same thing when I did peds. You know, it was the same thing. I will find a new mom who's sitting there with a child and they didn't know what's next. And you might ask yourself, well, are these things still exist? Yes, they do. Are they here in our backyard and in our community? Yes, they are. Otherwise, these organizations will not exist. We will not be serving 1,000 people in a toy drive. We will not be serving 300 people for Thanksgiving. We will not be serving 500 kids after school who doesn't have a place to go. And seniors that we are touching every single day, because you know this city used to be what we call a snowbird city, where people will come and go, and then some of them will get stranded here and they never get to go back home, and we have to take care of them. But how do we do that? As a city, we come together, one holding the hand of the other. And we look at these ladies every single day and we say, whatever little bit that we have, we're going to give it to you, and we know you're going to make the best of it. And I've seen you take $1 and turn it into $100. I know that of you ladies. I know you can do it. So it is important that you get involved. Please join us in the effort that we are making here every single day to make sure that we make this world a better place. Thank you for joining me today on Breaking Barrier. God bless you all.